If you're picking up guitar for the very first time, this is the video for you. Today, I'm going to teach you the absolute essentials you need for a guitar day one. I'm going to teach you how to hold the guitar, how to tune it. I'm going to teach you your first 2 chords. I'm going to teach you 2 strumming patterns on your first full song, all within this one video. If you're keen to learn guitar, please click like, subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. Let me know how you're getting on, or perhaps even request a song you'd like to learn. Let's jump straight in. Make sure you watch this video to the very end because I'm going to share 2 bonus tips with you. First of all, how to hold your guitar. If you're right-handed like I am and playing an acoustic guitar, then place the guitar on your right leg. Hook your right arm over the top bout here, so your elbow is slightly pulling it into your body but not putting any pressure. We're just holding the guitar nice and solid. The right hand should be nice and loose and free, as should the left. The left hand is just offered up to the neck and we can move it up and down unhindered. You may want to play with a strap instead of sitting down. That's fine. If you do so, I would suggest having it at a height where it's suspended, approximately where it would be when you're sat down anyway. So this is a great position to be playing guitar in. So let's look at how we're going to tune our guitar. A standard 6-string guitar is tuned to E, A, D, G, B, E. That's from the thick string to the thin string. I can teach you a really easy rhyme to remember this. It's elephants and donkeys grow big ears, okay? Now, there are a number of tuners available on the market, from clip-on ones like I have here on my headstock, and I've got a little camera set up here. I'm going to show you tuning my guitar. You can buy pedal tuners. There are apps available for your phone or your tablet. There are even online tuners. I've purposely put my guitar out of tune to show you how to go about tuning it. So don't forget the rhyme, elephants and donkeys grow big ears. So we start with an E. That's the string nearest to your head. Now, as you can see, the arrow is to the left-hand side of the E. That indicates that the note is too low and we need to tighten it. This corresponds with the tuning peg nearest to you on the top row. So the thing to do is gently pluck it repeatedly and gently tighten it. And as you can see, we're getting a green light. There we go. That's in tune. So we're looking for an A now, elephants and. Again, the arrow is slightly to the left, which means we need to tighten it. This is the second peg along the top row. And there we have it in tune. D is next. Now, the tune is to the right, which means we are too high. The note is sharp. So what we do in this instance is remember the saying, tune up. Never tune down into a note. So what we're going to do is go lower. And then gradually tighten the note back up. This is the third peg on the top row now. There we go, tuned to a D. I must also mention to tighten the pegs on the top row, we're turning them anti-clockwise if you were looking down on them. So now we're on the bottom row of tuning pegs. So the furthest one away from you is the G. Again, I am sharp, so tune up. We're going to lower the note first. There we go, and then just tighten it up quick. Again, the B is sharp. And the E is slightly flat. One final check. So we can just fine tune that one. There we go. Perfect. Our guitars are now in tune. Now let's learn our first 2 chords. The first chord we're going to learn is an E major, which sounds like this. To play an E major, we're going to start by taking our index finger, our first finger, and placing it on the 3rd string up from our feet in fret number 1. 1, 2, 3. Now we'll take our middle finger and place it on the 2nd string down in fret number 2, like this. And finally, we'll take our ring finger and tuck it neatly under the middle finger there, again in fret number 2. So your chord should be an open string, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then 2 open strings. You want to check this is right? You can just take your thumb and place it on the low E string, the one nearest to your head. Push downwards until it rests on the other string, and just keep doing that. Push it down through. That's known as a rest stroke. So that's your E major chord. The next chord we're going to learn is a B7. Now, it's slightly more complicated than the E, but I'm going to show you a really easy way of getting that chord change. To get to a B7 from an E, we're simply going to move 2 of the fingers. They're in the same fret, we're just going to flip them over. Let me show you what I mean. So your first finger here is going to come up by 1 string. That's the string this finger was on, and you're going to take this finger and drop it down to the string that was on. Now with the B7 chord, ideally you would strum it from string number 5, the A string. But if you do play the E, it's not a deal breaker. Still sounds good. But we should try to strum it from the 2nd string down, string number 5. So at this point, before we go into the song, what you should be doing now is practicing those 2 chords, and perhaps even more importantly, how to change between them smoothly. Once you can change smoothly, then you can play the song. So the exercise really should be something like this. Just keep it in a nice steady flow. It doesn't have to be fast. Slow but rhythmic's good. Nice smooth chord changes. Once you can do that, let's move on to the next part, which is our first 2 strumming patterns. The first strumming pattern we are going to learn is a simple 1, 2, 3, 4. They will be all downstrokes, but what I'm going to teach you now is how to shape your sound from day one. Too many people pick up a guitar and just start hitting all 6 strings. And guys, we can do so much better than that. If you're enjoying this lesson, please click the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know how you're getting on. So, what I'd like you to try on beat 1 is just to play 3 or 4 strings. Now, the way we achieve that is not to push the hand down and through, but to actually sweep it slightly away. Can you see that? Now, you can do this with your thumb. You can do it with a guitar pick or a plectrum, or you can do what I do, which is to pretend I'm holding a pick. I use the bed of my fingernail to strum downwards and the bed of my thumbnail to strum upwards. So, strumming pattern number 1, it will be all downstrokes. What we're going to do is sculpt our sound. When I was a kid, I used to have this lovely hi-fi, and it had 3 knobs on it, bass, middle, and treble. And I like to think of these guitar strings in those terms. We have the bass here, we have the middle here, and we have the treble here. So if we strum in these areas, we will sculpt our sound so much nicer than just... Okay? So, beat 1, we're going to play our bass area. That could mean 2 or 3 strings. The way we achieve this is not to push through, but is actually just to sweep the hand slightly across. So there we go, beat 1. 1. Beat 2 is going to be in the mid to treble area. 1, 2. Beat 3, we're back in the bass. And beat 4, you guessed it, we're back in the middle and treble area. So the simplest of strumming patterns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And just notice how I'm sculpting that sound here, rather than... Much nicer. When that's flowing confidently, now we could consider the chord change. Don't forget, you've been practicing the chord changes as a separate exercise, so this should feel reasonably familiar by now. So let's try it with the strum. 1, 2, 3, 4, change, 2, 3, 4, change, 2, 3, 4, and change, 2, 3, and one more time. 2, 3, 4, and change, 2, 3, 4, and change. So there's your strumming pattern number 1. Let's look at what we can do to make that slightly more interesting without it challenging us too much. So the one thing that was missing on that strumming pattern was upstrokes. Now upstrokes fit between the beats, so 1, 2 and 3, 4. That'd be a great one. So what did I do? I did the 1, 2 like we did in the first exercise, but now between 2 and 3, I'm just going to let my thumb clip these treble strings on my way back up. Look, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. And when that's flowing, we can add the chord changes. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and change. 2 and 3, 4 and change. 2 and 3, 4 and change. 2 and 3. One more time. And 2 and 3, 4 and change. 2 and 3, 4 and So just to sum up this section of the video, 2 new chords. What you should be doing now is practicing the chords individually, practicing the moment of change between the 2 chords on a very simple strum pattern. And when these are smooth, let's introduce these 2 new strumming patterns. Now, let's play our first full song. Now, the first song you're going to learn is I Just Want to Dance the Night Away by the Mavericks. Just wanna dance the night away with senoritas who can sway. Right now tomorrow's looking bright, just like the sunny morning. If you followed this lesson to the letter to this point, then you can already play your first song. Congratulations. All we do is incorporate the 2 chords we've already learned, E and B7. We use one of the 2 strumming patterns we've already learned, and that's it. That's all the song does. You just need to learn to keep that up for 3 or 4 minutes. Once you've built your confidence, the best advice I could give you is to play along with the original recording. It's not easy at first, but the trick is when you make a mistake, it's just to get back on the horse and keep going. The recording won't wait for you. You're learning a vital skill, which is to be able to get back on track despite making an error. That's a real milestone in any beginner's playing. Now, I promised you 2 extra bonus tips at the end. So tip number 1, the temptation will be to let your guitar slide forward like this in order to see what your fingers are doing. And that really is the worst thing you can do. It makes the chord much harder to play. It won't even play cleanly. Listen. All these notes. Look what happens as soon as I bring my guitar up, they're nice and clean. So if you need to see what your fingers are doing, and I understand early on you absolutely need to see what your fingers are doing, arc your neck over. Keep this guitar tight up to your body. Tip number 2, invest in a good guitar stand and leave your guitar safely on its stand rather than locked away in a case or a bag under the bed or in a closet. If it's out and to hand, you will pick it up. One of the best ways to learn early on is little and often. Little 5-minute bursts several times a day are more valuable at this stage than 1 hour's practice. Repetition is key, practice is key. So thanks for watching this, guys. I hope you found it really useful and it starts you off on day 1 of your guitar journey. If you've enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, come back for more beginner guitar lessons. I've got lessons up there that will hold your hand for the next few years of your playing as well. Don't forget to leave a comment. They really help me to create this content for free. Let me know how you're getting on with this first lesson. Perhaps you want to request a song. No problem. Drop it in the comments and I'll do my very best to do it for you. Thanks for watching Skeet Guitar and come back real soon.